Well, who should pick Albuquerque's police chief, you or the mayor? So far, it's always been up to the mayor and city officials, but some want you, the voters, to go ahead and decide. Yeah, City Council will be debating the idea at tonight's meeting. News 13's David Romero is live at City Hall in downtown Albuquerque with the details. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Elizabeth. Well, tonight's discussion is only the first step in deciding whether or not the change to the city charter would come on the ballot this November. Now, the actual chance to vote for a new police chief wouldn't come for at least another year. Now, in the proposal provided by City Councilor Ken Sanchez, a new chief would be elected every 4 years. Sanchez says this discussion should be in the hands of the people in order to have a stronger voice and choose who they want to serve as chief. There has been some public question recently about Chief Ray Schultz's ability to run the department after 17 people have died in 24 officer-involved shootings. Those shootings have happened within the course of the last 2 years. Now, not all of the councilors are on board with the possibility of the voters choosing the chief of police.
This proposal, about this idea, and that's why I would support moving it forward for discussion purposes.
Now, there's also been some outspoken opposition on this decision even being left up to the voters. That comes from former Public Safety Director Pete Denali. Denali says that leaving it up to the people to elect the police chief would be just asking for trouble. Elizabeth, back to you. All right, David, thank you for that update. By the way, another proposal that could be on the table is having a police oversight commission that would offer up recommendations as to who should be the next police chief. And speaking of city council, some are calling Albuquerque's council too small. So tonight, councilors are expected to discuss increasing the number of seats. A total of 9 city councilors currently serve the city of Albuquerque. The measure is on the table to have voters decide if the number of reps should increase to 13. Now, supporters say Albuquerque's population has doubled since the 9-member council was established back in 1974. Now, according to City Councilor Isaac Bettens, city councilors would have to hold public hearings soon and then put the issue on the November ballot. We'll, of course, let you know if they decide to move forward with the idea. A new agreement to give some Bernalillo County firefighters a 10% pay raise is moving forward. Union members agreed last week to push for the pay raise whenever firefighters move up in the ranks. Firefighter Union Vice President Robert Sanchez says an entry-level job at AFD will pay more than 20% than the same job at BCFD.
We're doing the same job. You know, a lot of instances we work together, we respond to structure fires.
At least one county commissioner, Wayne Johnson, tells us approving the pay increase would not be fair to the other 2,500 county employees. He actually feels it's better to give firefighters raises in smaller increments. Now, the tentative agreement is expected to be considered at next week's county commission meeting. Later today, we hope to learn more about how an inmate was accidentally let out of the Metro Detention Center this weekend. Records show that investigators caught this man, Isaac Enrique Ramirez, also known as Israel Macias, yesterday after he was mistakenly let out of jail on Friday. Ramirez was locked up on charges of aggravated stalking, kidnapping, and criminal damage to property. A lot of your taxpayer dollars are spent this weekend, all because a high-risk inmate had to go to the hospital. Officers from 5 agencies kept tabs on John McCluskey on Friday as he went from the Santa Fe State Prison to UNM's hospital because investigators say he hurt himself. Secretary of Corrections Greg Marcantel says it took the highest level of security to get him to the hospital.
This particular case, Crystal, it wasn't only an escape, but it was an escape followed by a double murder.
Secretary Marcantel there is talking about McCluskey. He's accused of killing Gary and Linda Haas in a carjacking here in New Mexico after he and 2 other inmates escaped from prison in Arizona back in 2010. A repeat DWI offender is in jail this morning. Sheriff deputies say this guy led them on a chase through southwest Albuquerque. Officials tell us Cristianos Garcia has 4 drunk driving convictions on his record so far. A sheriff's deputy says he pulled Garcia over near Coors in Barcelona on Saturday. That's when the deputy says Garcia suddenly took off at a high rate of speed, hitting traffic barriers, fences, and drainage pipes. A canine helped to track him down. Deputies arrested Garcia after they say he blew above a .16 on a breath test. His bond was set at $50,000. A Santa Fe man is in jail this morning, accused of trying to prey on at least one child. Jeremiah Miller is charged with child solicitation by electronic communication and criminal sexual communications with a child. According to Albuquerque police, Miller made online contact with a person he thought was a 14-year-old girl, but was really an undercover police officer. After agreeing to meet and showing up, cops arrested Miller. The judge set his bond at $7,500.